second down. It's Edwards. And he'll find a little space. He gets this up near the 10. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for third down. He can run for it, and he will. 3 yards on the keeper, and it's fourth down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
So on fourth down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Calais Campbell in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Another try after the first down sack. Tannehill firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's third and goal.
6-yard gain brings up third and goal.
Tannehill. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. These two teams, of course, the Titans and Ravens, met in the postseason a year ago. And really, along with the Titans win the previous week in Foxborough, it was one of the shockers of the postseason. The Titans a 6th seed on the road. The Ravens, they were the top seed, riding a 12-game win streak and coming off the first-round bye. But where that game was all Tennessee, they led 28-6 at one point, ultimately winning 28-12 and sending them on to the AFC title game in Kansas City.
24-yard gain on the play. First down, Ravens.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ravens 7, Titans nothing.
We never know just what is our time, the legends are gone, and we don't know why. Before they go, they go toast, give them a rose, but they still alive. I'm feeling like rap, I feel like I'm Prince, I'm feeling myself. I'm loaded with bills, cause I was a blessed with no one fail. Don't know how I feel, I wanted to flex, they told me to chill. I'm making a flip, my life is a flip.
Now Jackson on first down. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Last play they went over 20 yards. This time they topped 30. Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter whether you're actually on the field trying to chase him or you're just watching him play. This guy is sheer excitement.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And a little floater there is incomplete. J.K. Dobbins, the one he was looking for. But it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
They go play action here on first down. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens will extend their lead. So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his 2nd touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talents. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more. And it's good to make it 14-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Khalif Raymond now. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He'll start with a give to Henry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calais Campbell on the stop. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Yannick Ngakoue drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up 4th down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Here's Brett Kern now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 30. And running with power here. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. There he goes right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson, and really don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying a crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy is simply sensational.
And it is now 21-0. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Raymond now on the return. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
A.J. Brown and the Titans getting the ball back here. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Here's Tannehill. Quick slant to Brown. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, Tannehill. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. It's the fullback. 37 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They use their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Now Tucker to add the PAT.
Extra point.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
5-yard line.
And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. He's just been looking for some space. You know, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Good.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Jonnu Smith, the tight end, is intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down.
Incomplete. Marcus Peters on the coverage.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And that's caught by Smith. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 17 yards on that play for the Titans.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
On 1st down, Tannehill. And an incomplete pass.
Tannehill's pass.
That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10, Tannehill once more. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. To the air again, Tannehill. This one caught by Davis. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
On 4th down, here's Stephen Gostkowski for the Tennessee field goal. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25.
Titans 3.
So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
27-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
That's the end.
So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's the first of 2 games here on this Wild Card Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's AFC wildcard game. And it's the Indianapolis Colts who are moving on to the next round.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Titans take over first and 10. At their own.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
A first down carry for Henry.
Number 20.
A gain of 3, second down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he stopped immediately there.
He was
no gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
No gain on the play. Brings up third down and 7.
Now Tannehill. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Intended for Khalif Raymond. Incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
Take over first and 10. At their own.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's been elusive, very, very good at scrambling, over 100 yards rushing already.
Makes you think that you're going to have to change strategy on defense. That now he has commanded that you use one person on him at all times. What's that, the spy technique?
Yep.
And that's so difficult to do because most of the time I'm not a big believer in it. I think the spy usually gets beat. But in this case, I'm going to sacrifice some pass coverage and take my best, most athletic safety and put him on the quarterback.
Jackson on first down. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 39 yards there, a big one.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson, buying time to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 26 big yards on that one. It's another first down.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Jackson going to run, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Excellent job on the tackle for loss by Harold Landry, shooting into the backfield.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Jackson took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a 1st down. It's 4th.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
John Harbaugh going to roll the dice. They're going for it on 4th down. To throw is Jackson. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Jackson from the shotgun. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown there to make the grab, and the Ravens continue to pour it on.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round, but I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so, because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel, make sure they get their security deposit back.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Raymond now on the return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
On the return, the Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here's Tannehill throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to A.J. Brown that time, and it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
To throw is Tannehill. He gets it to Brown. Good play. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Tannehill. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Matt Judon, he brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Tannehill getting this complete to Smith. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
Here's Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They snap it to Tannehill. Man open left side is Brown. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Now, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the 2nd half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's looking like they are going to get the victory here, and it will not be one and done in these playoffs. Of course, you remember the disappointment of 12 months ago, and they're trying to erase that memory right now. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Now Dobbins. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh, my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Ravens now on 1st and 10. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort.
And now they're going to fake it. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Raymond now on the return. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Titans take over 1st and 10. At their own 27-yard line.
Now comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Calais Campbell picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Another try after the 1st down sack. Tannehill. Henry's got it out on the left side. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Smith catches left side. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This is taken at the 18. Fights loose. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the Ravens taking the field. And it's looking like they are going to get the victory here, and it will not be one and done in these playoffs. Of course, you remember the disappointment of 12 months ago, and they're trying to erase that memory right now. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the second round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield? To be able to get him in the second round, that's what I call a steal.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Desmond King making the tackle.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On second down, a run with Dobbins. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37.
The ball carrier.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
And that's another big-time run, and it sure looks like the leverage game is being won by the offensive line. They're the low man on just about every snap, and they're winning, pushing back the defensive front and creating great space for their runners.
On the option, it's Jackson. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well. Probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll run with Dobbins. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. They've had some success here in overtime in this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you, and until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
And a wild card win moves them on to the divisional round.
Everyone plays all year long for the right to get into the tournament, as they like to call it. Wild card, divisional, doesn't matter to them. One moves on, one goes home.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Nashville.